I regularly get asked the question, what is the return on investment for becoming a key person of influence? Is it quantifiable? Can you actually put some numbers around it or specific examples around the value of being a key person of influence? Because ultimately, being a key person of influence kind of lifts the tide on everything. But if we actually drill in, are there specific examples where it's actually made a lot of money, where it's provided a return on investment? So I would say the return on investment for being a key person of influence is unlike anything I've ever been involved with. It's better than any investment that I've made, and I've made some decent ones. It's better than any marketing campaign. Investments into personal brand have been the biggest payoff by far. So let me give you some examples. Remember that to become a key person of influence, we want to improve your pitch, publish content, create products, raise your profile, and do joint ventures and partnerships. So I'll give you some examples from all of those. Over the last couple of years, I've been able to raise millions and millions of dollars in order to fund my ideas. So I've come up with ideas, or I've had early stage businesses, and by crafting a pitch using a framework that we use with our clients called the Capstone Framework, we've been consistently oversubscribed on any investment round that we've done. So I raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for a brand new idea called Book Magic, millions of dollars for Score App, and we're about to do another fundraise for a new business that we're going to launch soon as well. And I'm very confident that we'll be able to raise that money. So turning an idea into reality, if I need a little bit of angel capital, I craft the pitch, we get all of the key information in, we can correctly communicate the value of the idea. Using my personal brand and using a good quality pitch, we can raise the money that we need. In one instance, we also improved the pitch and improved our conversions by double. So for every 100 people that we used to present to prior to crafting the pitch, we'd get about a 15% conversion, and now that's up around 30% conversion, which means that the return on investment for all other marketing activity pretty much doubles. So just by improving the pitch, you're going to get a better result with your marketing, your sales, your ability to raise money, your ability to get employees to join your team, your ability to expand into new markets. All of that revolves around pitching. I believe that entrepreneurship is the journey of 1,000 pitches. The payoff for getting the pitch right has never been so high. If you pitch 1,000 times a great pitch, you'll probably build a business worth 10 to 100 million or more. But the penalty for an average pitch has never been more harsh. If you do 1,000 average pitches, you'll probably have nothing to show for it at the end. So pitching is really, really powerful, and it provides clear return on investment in multiple different ways. The next one is published content. I've published 5 different books. Technically, I could retire and live off my book royalties for a while. They keep coming in. Every quarter, I get royalty statements, and really those books provide royalties, about £1 per book that sells on Amazon. So sure enough, if you sell 50 or 60,000 books a year, you've got more than an average wage living in the UK, and you could live anywhere in the world as an author. But it gets better than that, because every single person that reads a book is also building a relationship with the person who wrote the book. Books are like networking on steroids. So if I had the ability to meet 60,000 people, can you imagine how mmany great business deals would come out of that, right? I know how many business deals come out of it because I get business deals through my books all the time. When people have read my books, they've paid for me to be a speaker. I recently got paid more in 1 hour to be a speaker than many people earn in an entire year of work. And that was because the people who ran the conference had read my book. They didn't need to talk to me in advance. They knew from the book that they wanted to book me as a speaker. So they got in touch, they paid the speaking fee, and it was an amount that most people would be pretty happy if they earned that in a year. And it was for 1 hour of my time, about 20 minutes down the road. The third thing we talk about on the Key Person of Influence Accelerator is the idea of productization. We believe that your story has got lots of valuable intellectual property. We can turn that intellectual property into product ecosystem. So we can make products out of your intellectual property. I've been doing this for the last 15 years, and it's gotten to the point now where every single month we do well over $1 million worth of sales per month. And these are products that have nothing to do with my time. It's linked to the value of that product, the value of that service, which contains the intellectual property I created, but it is not linear linked to my time. So my time is obviously doing things relating to the business, but the business is operating on its own legs. It's got a life of its own. So at least $1 million a month worth of product sales coming through just from things that started in my mind as an idea and turned into products. The fourth thing that we get you to do on the Key Person of Influence Accelerator is to raise your profile. In particular, we want to have somewhere between 2 and 20,000 followers on social media. We want to have enough people where you've always got opportunities that you can put out into the world and people will receive them, or opportunities that can come to you through your network. So 2 to 20,000 is the kind of early stage sweet spot for being a key person of influence. I've been able to build my profile a little bit bigger than that recently by getting on some big podcasts like Diary of a CEO, by putting 3, 4, or 5 pieces of content on each platform every single week. The profiles really started to lift off. About 2 years ago, I had the 2 to 20,000 following on most of my social media platforms. But with the activity that we've done in the last 2 years, it's gone over 100,000 on each platform. Now, obviously that's not crazy, that's not millions, but I can tell you it's correlated to a lot of marketing activity, a lot of leads, and all the businesses are growing exponentially as a result of that following. So on average, we have a couple of YouTube channels now. Each of those is getting over 100,000 views per month. And those views, those are real people. Those are people who are interested in what we're doing, like yourself at the moment. And these are people who end up working with us. So we end up with a lot of clients coming through. So just having the profile means that we're in front of a lot more people and we have a lot more deal flow. Also, when my sales team are talking to people on the phone for the first time or having a Zoom call with one of our potential customers, they've typically heard of us, they've watched some videos, they've seen some of the stuff, they've been following on social media, so the connection is very warm. So we've got a constant stream of warm leads, warm connections that are coming through that social media profile. Once again, it all pushes towards that outcome of having a profitable, growing business. Finally, we talk about partnerships. Now, I've done lots of partnerships over the years. I really strongly believe in partnerships, but let me tell you about one. I wanted to enter the US market, and I did a partnership with one of the sharks from Shark Tank, a guy called Kevin Harrington, amazing entrepreneur, based in Florida. He's very famous, he's well known, he's one of the sharks on Shark Tank. He's written several books. He decided to partner with me on the launch of Key Person of Influence USA, and he actually co-authored the US edition of the Key Person of Influence book in the USA. That co-author partnership meant that I had an open door to so many different connections in the USA that I wouldn't have otherwise had. So that's just one simple example of just partnering with people. Now, how did that happen? It happened because we reached out to Kevin, used our pitching framework. He checked out some of our published content online. He saw that our products were well reviewed. He saw that I had a growing profile. He was happy to do a joint venture partnership with us on the book going into the USA. So by getting the first 4 Ps right, it was very easy to do that 5th P, the partnership. So all of those partnerships are built upon having that key person of influence brand. It should start to feel at the moment like there's a bit of a divide happening in society. There are people who have built their key person of influence brand and they're flying. There are people who are stuck trying to be invisible, hiding behind a business brand, hiding behind their product brands, and they're struggling. And the more that you understand how to build a personal brand, the more you realize that this divide is getting wider and wider, and you start seeing it everywhere. If you're still on the fence, please, I want you to get off the fence. Come and talk to me on a live workshop. I run these 90-minute workshops every single month. There'll be a link somewhere around for you to book in, and I would love for you to jump onto the workshop live. If you've got any resistance or any skepticism, bring it to the workshop, let's discuss it, let's talk about it. Ultimately, there's a world of new opportunities if we can get rid of that resistance and get you building your personal brand at scale. Okay, so if you're enjoying these videos, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a subscribe to the channel. If you leave a comment, I read all of them and it helps me to shape all the videos that I'm doing in the future. So subscribe to the channel and I look forward to sharing with you some new videos soon.